Okay, so in previous chapter we have covered local date, local time, local date time. So those works without time zones, but like mostly we need time zone. So in this one we will see how we can work with different zones. Working with time zones, measuring durations, formatting dates for display, and handling machine timestamps are tasks we will encounter constantly in real applications. And in this one we will cover those. First one is instant machine timestamps. So instant represents one specific point on the universal timeline, the number of seconds and nanoseconds since the Unix epoch, and that is January 1, 1970. And it has no concept of time zone, date, or time, just a precise moment. So we can import this one from jar.time and we will get our output in UTC format always. You can understand this one. First we have your year, then month, then date, and then this T is time separator. So it just simply indicates that our date portion is ending and our this time portion is starting. Okay, first one is our hour, this one is minute, this one is second, and this one is one portion of our second. And here we are representing this one in microseconds. Okay, and this means UTC, coordinated universal time, and this one has zero offset. We will understand offset. We can create this one. We can also create from epoch, like of epoch second, from millis. We can also parse this one. Okay. Now we have to use instant, like we have local date time. So why we need instant? So they solve different problems. First one is we can use instant for timestamps that we have to store in our database, for logging, audit trails, measuring elapsed time, API communication, anywhere we need this exact moment worldwide. So there we can use instant. Converting between instant and other types. Let's say we have this instant. We can convert this one to zoned date time, needs time zone. So we have to provide here time zone. For Asia, for US, we can provide New York or Tokyo, we can also provide. We have different zones and we have like around 600. Then zone date time to instant. For this one, we can also add this one to instant. Okay. Instant to epoch values, instant.get epoch second to epoch millis. Instant for elapsed time. While instant works for measuring elapsed time, prefer system.nanotime for performance measurements as it isn't affected by clock adjustments. Instant is one machine concept and our local date time is one human concept. Okay. So if we create two instant objects in the worldwide at the same physical moment, then they will be identical. Now next thing is zoned date time. This represents a date, time, and time zone. It is the complete picture. We know exactly which moment in time is being referenced from the perspective of a specific time zone. We can import this one, something like this. We can also import zone IDs, current time in systems time zone. This one will reference our system's time zone. Okay. If we are in Asia, if we are in US or anywhere, current time in a specific zone. Then we have current time in a specific zone. We can also create that zone ID.off, something like this. Specific date time in a zone. So we can also add date with time in any zone. Okay. From local date time plus zone, local date time, something like this, zone local at zone, this one. So it doesn't matter. We have many methods. Okay. Converting between time zones, zone date time, New York. Let's create this one here and same moment, different time zone. So with zone, same instant, 4 hours ahead. So we can convert between time zones as well. And this one is very helpful. Okay, next one is zone IDs. Java uses IANA time zone database names. Mostly our operating system use. We have some here like New York, London, US Eastern, UK. And we have around 600 zones. You can also print those. ZonedID.get available zone IDs. So this one with zone same instant, this one is one key method. Okay, it converts to a different time zone while preserving the same physical moment. This one is very important. Now next thing is daylight saving time. This one is one popular concept. DST. Zoned date time handles DST transitions automatically, but we need to be aware they can create surprising behavior. So spring forward, clocks skip an hour. So in US, like on every second Sunday in March, we skip 1 hour. And that is like in midnight from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. Okay, so our clock will directly jump from like 1:59:59 to 3. Okay, and on every like first Sunday in November, we repeat 1 hour. Okay, like 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. And we change our offset. So if we are jumping, then we are moving ahead, right? So we decrease our offset by one. So for US New York, our offset will be like 5 a.m. Like our offset will be 5, right? So in this one, we decrease that offset by one. So that will be from 5 to 4. And here we will increase our offset to normal, which is UTC 5 if we talk about Eastern Standard Time. Okay, and we can also test this one, like how our zone date time handle these kind of things, transitions basically. Zone date time. Not now basically. We have to use here dot off, and this one will be for 2026. We have to use here date 8. Okay, that is our second Sunday basically. And for just testing, we can see like 1 a.m. and for minute we can use 30 seconds, anything 0. We can also provide nanoseconds, that's fine. And zone ID, this one. Okay, let's take this suggestion. Okay, so this one will be before this. We can put this one DST. And now if we increase this time by 1 hour, then we will not get 2:30, we will get 3:30 here. Okay, and we can also see that one after DST. We can use previous one, that's fine. Before DST with John same instant. Okay, we are not converting in Johns, we have to increase. So we can use plus hours by 1. All right, and now we can print before DST, after DST is before. That's fine. We don't need this one. Dot get after DST dot get hour. Okay, that's fine. Get offset. Okay. Now we can compile this one and we can run this one. Okay, so what is that? Maybe we can remove these things. Okay, now we can compile and then we can run this one. So you can see we got 5 here. This one is before DST. Okay, so this one will be from November to March. And this one is March to November. So in this one, we got our normal value, and this one we got 4. So in this one, we got 4, like one less from our normal value because we jumped in time, right? And you can also see that our zone date time is handling this one perfectly. So this is one important thing. So this is another thing that we need zone date time. We cannot represent these kind of things using our local date time. Okay. Next one is period date based amounts. So period measures time in human oriented units like years, months, and days. It is designed for date differences. We can import this one here. Creating 2 months, we can create this one. Period custom, okay, period dot off, 1 year, 3 months, 10 days. We can also create this one between two dates. So period dot between, we can use here between start and end. And now we can extract this data like get years, get months, get days. We can copy this one. Definitely you can do some practice. We can import this one from java.time. Basically, we can print this one between dot get days, get years, get months. We can compile this one and then we can run this one. So you can see 14, 1, and 3 from 2024 to 2025. Okay. Now, next one is using period with dates. So we can create here local date instance, then period 6 months of month, this one, future, okay, dot plus, this one, subscription expiry. So we can see some use cases. Okay, now next thing is duration, time based amounts. Duration measures time in seconds and nanoseconds. It is designed for exact time differences, machine oriented. Okay, creating this one 2 hours, half second. We can also do that between two times. And then 2 hours, minutes, get seconds. Okay. Now, what is the difference between period and duration? So period works with dates and uses like variable length units. So our month can be like 28, 29, 30, or 31 days. And our year can be 365 or 366. Okay, so these are human concepts. But our duration works with time and uses like fixed length units. So our hour is always of 3600 seconds. Okay, 3 months. So if we try to mix some things here with different types, like if we try to mix time based thing with date based, then we will get some exceptions. We can also see that. So we know that our local date is based on date. Okay. So dt equals to local date dot now. This is fine. But if we try to mix here, let's say plus years, we can do that. But if we do here duration dot of hours, let's say 5, then we will get here one exception, and that will be unspotted exception. No compilation error, but we will get runtime error here, and that is unsupported temporal type exception. Okay. So don't mix with different types. So we cannot mix time based with date based. So we cannot work here with local date, but we can work here with local time. We have to use here as well. Now we can print this one, compile this, run this. So you can see. Now next thing is ChronoUnit, quick calculations. For simple how many x between A and B calculations, we can use this one, ChronoUnit. And this one is often the most convenient option. ChronoUnit gives us a single number in one unit. And we have seen previously like period. So this period gives us one decomposed like x years, y months, these kind of things. But our ChronoUnit gives us one single number. So let's say we have this local date, long days. So ChronoUnit dot days dot between this one dot weeks, months, works with times too. So local dot time of this one, we can get hours, minutes, these kind of things. So we can get one single number for each unit. Okay. And if we have to extract these things using one object, then definitely we can use period here. That's just depend on our situation. Next one is DateTimeFormatter. Formatting dates for display and passing strings into dates. The formatter is immutable and also thread safe. So it is safe to store as a static final constant. We can import this one here. Okay, local date time. This one, dt.format, ISO local date, local time, date time. Then we have some common patterns here. First one is date time formatter of pattern. This one we can use string formatted local date.of.format formatter. Then we will get this one date time formatter of pattern, something like this. And we have some symbols here that we can use in our formatter. That is this one. This one is for year, month, okay, month abbreviated like March, then month like full name, March, okay, day of month, day of week, full like Friday, okay, hour, small for 12, and minutes, seconds, AM and PM. So we can use these things here, okay. Okay, now next one is parsing strings into dates of pattern. This one, local date dot parse formatter. Error handling, we can also do that. If we provided like wrong input or invalid date format, then we can get that one here. Date time parse exception. Local aware formatting dot French. In this one, we will get something like this. This one is essential for internationalized applications. Our same date, like March 15 in English, and this one in French. And it will be different in German, something like that. Okay, next one is temporal adjusters. For common date adjustments like next Monday or last day of month, temporal adjusters provides ready-made utilities. We can import this one here, and let's say we have one object local date with temporal adjusters dot first day of month. This one last day of month, first day of next month, like this. So useful for business logic like payment dates, reporting periods, post scheduling. Rather than doing like manual calculation, we can use this one. Next thing is common pitfalls, confusing period and duration. Period is for dates, duration is for time, and using the wrong one throws an exception. If you use this one, we will get this exception. We have seen this one. Ignoring DST in time calculations, adding 24 hours isn't always the same as adding 1 day. So when DST transitions are involved, we can use this one with plus days for correct behavior. Storing local date time as timestamps. This one is big mistake. In database, we can use instant, which is of UTC format by default, and convert to local time for display. So we have here so many classes and so many methods. In those, definitely we can, or you can see this chapter again and again. Just to remember, like we have these kind of things, converting between zones and an instant, how we can use that one to store timestamps in our database. This one is helpful. Now we can proceed with our summary part. And we can move forward with our next thing, which is regex fundamentals.